morning, good afternoon, good evening, hello creepy friends, and most importantly, happy Christmas! Happy December 25th. I just can't believe it's here. Like at the start of the month, I looked at the calendar and just went, do you know, it's just going to be Christmas Day before you know it. In non-alcoholic fashion, let's toast the season with my cherry Coke. This glass is like retro vintage, look at this cool little thing. So last year I made a very tart Christmas, and I think that went down quite well. I was quite pleased with that. But we have this year this wonderful little Heavy Metals holiday palette, and when I was talking about this in the haul video from earlier in the month, I just had this sudden idea of what to do. So I'm going to go forward and remind you guys as usual. I've not planned a thing. I have one random idea in my mind. It might turn out to be completely rubbish, but it's Christmas Day. I don't care. I just want to have a little bit of fun with this. So the basic theme I'm going to tell you is basically I'm going to do like a Harley Quinn at Christmas. I suddenly looked at it and I saw I had red and green shadows in here. I've got mullet and after party, and I was like, oh my god, I could do some sort of Harley Quinn weird thing. That would be so much fun, because I tried to do it sensible last year, and I think if you come to this channel a lot, you'll know I'm not the most sensible, this is how you do it, I'm so perfect at it type person. I have no idea what I'm doing, so let's just have a little bit of fun instead. By the way, just so you know, I am in something remotely Christmassy. There you go. It's my zombie Christmas t-shirt, okay? I have had this t-shirt for years. It is actually a boy's t-shirt. I believe I got it from Peacocks. It's aged 13 to 14 years. And yes, at the age of 28, I am double its specified age, and I still damn well fit it. So I'm going to do full face. It's more the eyes we're here for. I am going to actually zoom in on the eyes this time. I've completely forgot the last few times, but I will do it this time. I am moisturised, not primed, but ready to go. Normal moisturiser, guys, is number 7's Early Defence. By the way, I should point out we are Christmased up as well. I've got my big sack, I've got a little Santa, and I've got a little display of Christmassy friends over here. Starting with eye primer. Now I'm going to have to go through you guys with what's happening with my skin. I did touch on having dry eyelids. It stemmed from one thing, I believe, but I think I've pretty much sorted it out now. But I have recently changed eye primers, and I'm now using Benefit Stay Don't Stray. By day, by kind of work day, I've been using Air Patrol. Now I know what I said about Air Patrol, but it really helps with hydration on my eyelids. But for shimmers, weekends and sparkles, we come to this little guy. Do love this. So I've got light medium, and they kind of advise you to dot it all over the eye, but I tend to either do one or the other. I tend to do 3 dots, or I tend to just do a stroke. I think it's really your call, to be perfectly honest, how you use this product. It is a very comfortable product. There you go. This is what they show you to do on the box. Like I ever do what the box tells me. I'm going to blend that in, and then I'm going to let that settle and do brows. So I'm just going to use, this is a Tarte concealer brush, by the way. It came with Rainforest of the Sea Aqua Sealer for anyone who's interested. So I'm going to go for Brow. I have shade 6. It's the darkest shade. I think if I do repeat buy this product, I am actually going to go for number 5 or possibly even number 4, which are more lighter and neutral tones. This does technically match my own brow colour, if you can see that there, but I think I just like something a little bit lighter and a little bit more natural looking. Not that this doesn't look unnatural, but you know what I mean, I'm babbling. This is clean, but what I do generally keep every day when I do my brows, I then keep a cotton pad with some micellar water on it, and I just clean that as I go, because if this gets too stiff, you'll find that it won't do your brows properly, or you'll get like weird marks. So I'm going to dab this on my brush, but I don't want to get loads on there, because I don't really do big, thick, silly brows. See, this is sometimes why I get annoyed with this product. This is why I tend to prefer the BM Brow Master product, because this tends to be harder and drier. I think you can wet it down if you've got like an oil. And go around and down just to give it a bit more feathered. It looks really weird when that first goes on and harsh. But obviously once, I say this all the time, once you've got eye makeup on, it kind of levels itself out quite a lot more. So onto this side. Ironically, I always moan that this is my bad eyebrow side. It's actually being the better eyebrow side currently. Right, we'll start with this side. So this has now settled on my eyes enough for me to be able to shadow. So the thing with heavy metals is it's great, but you're also going to need a matte palette to go with it. So in short, I'm going to do 2 different coloured eyes. So I'll have to give you a shot on each. And I'm going to use 2 different matte palettes to contrast with it. So for the green eye, we will be using Urban Decay Vice Reloaded, which is this little chap right here. Because we have the shades, let's have a look, Mildew and Acid Rain right here, which are going to be a great basis for us. And on the other side, I'm going to be using Urban Decay Naked Heat, because it has lovely red tones and it's going to match the red tone of that very well. So for starters, before I do anything, I'm going to base the lid out, and I'm going to do that in the shade on this side, Anonymous, which is right down here. So let's start with the green. Okay, oh, I've also got Misdemeanor, look at that. I didn't, oh, that's going to be good as well. Okay, so I've kind of definitely got an idea of what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start with Acid Rain, which is the lightest green. Oh no, we are getting green, look at that. Huh, I surpassed and surprised myself. So the next shade we're going to use is going to be, I'm actually going to come to Misdemeanor. I'm going to take that, the thing I love about this brush, and I say it all the time, I can get right in my crease with this Morphe brush. Don't worry if I get shadow down here and it's untidy, I will tidy this up later. So it is a bit of an Urban Decay Christmas, because at the minute I've only actually used Urban Decay stuff. Huh. Final shade of green will be Mildew. There it is. And basically this is why I apply the darker colour first, because I tend to then soften it out with a different alternate shade. Now that's all on, do you think it's time for glitter? Because I do. So the shade, the green shade, is going to be Metalhead, which couldn't, I've just put my finger in that, which couldn't be more me. And I have not actually worn this shade since I got the palette. I've been sticking to some of the others. I have used colour, but I haven't used this one. Here is Metalhead. It's an awesome shade of green. So to pack it on, I'm actually going to go back to that brush that I just used, because this one is a small flat top and will really pack the colour on. So I'm going to get quite a lot of colour. So I'm going to pack quite a lot of colour on this tip of this brush, because I do want a pretty defined shade. And it is so pigmented that you won't be able to miss it, let me tell you. So I'm also going to add just a little bit of the black shade, which is Ground, onto this outer corner, just to give it a little bit more of a smoke. And I've not actually used Ground before, and it's glittery, so kind of works both ways, doesn't it? Again, I don't mind just kind of swishing this around and being untidy. I am going to clean this up. So for one green eye, I'm really quite pleased with that. It's come out really well, and I can see from the light at the back the shading on it. Like, I can't quite get it in my own mirror here, but in the light from the, it just looks kind of cool. So I'm really pleased with that. So let's line it out. So I'm going to use my normal Supercat skinny liner. I am in the future going to be looking for something hypoallergenic. I did look at the number 7 ones, but they're all quite thicker topped ones. I prefer to have the finer one just as a preference. I don't like to do really big thick lines. As you'll see, if you haven't been here before, I'm quite fine with my liner. And just FYI as well, my one thing at the minute is I've been leaving finishing my flicks until the end of everything, like face makeup and everything. It just seems easier. So if I don't, when I don't do the flick, don't think I'm not going to do it, because I will. go to UD Heat, possibly one of the palettes of the year, I think. I think last year it was very much that and the Huda one, which I never got. So out of this palette, I am going to start with Chaser, just as the base colour, and again, because it will give the glitter something to stick to later on in time. I'm going to start with Cayenne, go to Fuego, and then go back to He Devil. So Cayenne is this one right here. It's like an orangey red. And that's going to be the one that I do all over with my lovely... I adore this Spectrum brush. Whether it's meant to be this kind of brush or not, I don't care. It works for me. What I love, it's got a point. And the point stops right above your eyelid where you crease. So it separates and disperses all of the upper colour so perfectly. Like, I don't care if this is meant to be a highlighter brush. It's my everything eyeshadow brush. I'm literally so in love with it. So as opposed to getting like a block, I get like that even blended out shade. And I haven't even touched my eyelid with this brush. This is what's so amazing about it. So I'm next going to go to Fuego, which is the darkest, which is Ready Purple, which is this chap right here. Next to it is Ashes, which is the distinct purple. And if I'm doing Eye Zombie, these two work great, but I'm not going to use the purple today. So in Fuego, I'm going to come back to my Morphe brush, and I'm going to get a fair amount on there, like I kind of did with this side. Last shade I'm going to come in with is He Devil, which is to me one of the reddest shades in the palette. It doesn't look it in the light. I don't want to go to the metallic glimmers because obviously I want it to be more like as matte as I can possibly be, contrasting against the Heavy Metals palette. And use a different brush, and this will, as with before, slightly blend out the harsher line. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit. So if you wanted more of a clean lid to apply the red shade onto, what I would do is come back to Stay Don't Stray, not drop it on the floor, and I would do 2 dots. Well, I've done 3. I would do a little bit here, and I'm going to come back to this, but I'm going to use the flat, smaller side, just really so I can concentrate this more. And you see how that cleans up any darkness that's on the lid from any of the dark shadows we just used. Just to aid me a little bit more, I'm going to use a flattened concealer brush just to smooth it out along there. And there we go. Now we've got lots of room to put on the red. Just while the Stay Don't Stray is drying again, I'm going to use Ground just on the outer corner of this eye too. This could be a hot mess or it could look really freaking cool. I don't know how it's going to end up right now. Because that's already on shadow, it's dried out quite well. So we're now going to come to After Party. Look at that beautiful red. Use a slightly different brush for this. This is the Laura Geller, similar typed brush to the Morphe one you saw a few minutes ago. And again, I'm going to really pack the shade on that brush. But as usual, I only apply it to one side of the brush, just so I don't get anything anywhere else. Oh my goodness, this is the first time I have used this red. It kicks ass. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Oh my wow god. That's crazy cool with that red shade is insane. In fact, I'm actually going to go into Gash from Vice 10, which is the red shade here, just because this is more of a distinct red and I think it will help. So this is the fun of having no idea what you're doing. It ends up being fun. So Super Cat, let's go on to Super Cat. Okay, so we have 1 red and 1 green, and I'm really actually quite happy with the way it's come out so far. It's very strange but very festive, but don't worry, we're going to finish our under eyes once I've done the face. So let's do face makeup. My mattifier, as usual, just for my nose and slightly on my upper forehead. My upper forehead? Do I have an upper forehead? What was that? For my nose, mainly. Is BM's Blemish Remedy. Because this does help dry my nose out very well. And I've also gotten really back into Professional recently. And I do have the cap. I just took it off a second ago. I would really love to review Benefit's Pearl Professional that's just come out. I know it's available directly on Benefit. I will be honest, I'm kind of holding out until it debuts. Like I went to one of my local boutique in last weekend, and they said to me it would be debuting like nationwide in January. Now, whether QVC will do it, because I've noticed there's a very early Benefit show in January, or whether they will, or when, if that's just going to be a very early January, I don't know. But I also have things like the Look Fantastic voucher, so if and when it comes on there, I'm just thinking to myself, save your money, get it when you can get it there. I know that kind of sounds cheap, but you know, I've done 4 blobs of Benefit over my face. I'm going to start cleaning up under that eye as well, as you can see. I don't have an Urban Decay under eye concealer, so we're just going to use Shape Tape instead because it's the master. So also next year, and I think, can you get it on urbandecay.com? There is an all-nighter concealer to match the foundation, which funnily enough we're going to use in a minute. Again, I want to try that, money allowing, but it's going to take an awful lot to ever rival this. This is just the Dawn of concealer world at the minute, and nothing's beaten it so far. And I also am going to do a big vlog about this, because this is my most loved, yet it's one of my most annoyed products of the year, I have to say. So I always do my forehead, because I find my forehead doesn't cover very well with foundations, so I always tend to add just a little bit more up here. I have this big ugly thing here. I'm going to conceal that, and I have another ugly down here, slightly too much. I've got some here that I'm just going to give a light dusting to, because that foundation's great and a lot will cover it, and these matching quite well. Also, just FYI, because I forgot, I'm using Shape Tape Fair. I also suit light. It just really depends on which one I draw out the bag first, quite frankly. So I'm going to use the Tarte brush you just saw me prime with, and I'm also going to use my number 7 brush. I'm just going to reiterate to you guys, this isn't dirty, it's pretty much stained from the shades I use, so don't think it's unclean. It is. So what I started with this eye, so I dot it into the crease and under the lashes, and then where I used shadows, I angle it up like this to clean up any shadow line. And now we don't have a big fat mess, see? So then I turn it over and I press it in, and then anything left I just disperse with the brush. And there you go, clean shadow line. That easy. Definitely saves. I don't like putting tape on my face or doing anything like that, so to me that was just a little hack I came up with. It's probably out there, but hey ho, I do it too. Dabble it in. I love the fact that this has such a defined point, this number 7 sponge.
Take it into that angle. Turn it round.
I'm loving the red and green eyes. I'm sitting there looking at the mirror going, this is crazy, but it's fun. So I'm also just going to dab a little bit of leftover concealer up on this lid, because I feel like I am just a tiny bit too red. And just to even it out on that side too. This is just fun. This is what I like about makeup. We don't always have to be 100%. It can just be fun and silly too. Isn't that the point? Forehead, I use the bigger side, and I dab it literally all over my forehead. And then brush over. I sometimes use different brushes. This is just kind of the one I drew today. And down and done. So just while that concealer settles a little on my skin, I'm going to do my lashes. Don't have Perversion, or sorry, Subversion primer. I have Benefit's They're Real Tinted Primer Mascara, so I'm going to use that. And because it's Christmas and I do have Troublemaker, I like this mascara. I don't love this mascara, I'll be honest. I don't think it's something I would probably buy. Like, I would rather go for Perversion every single time. Troublemaker's nice, it's just not my favourite. Chatty crap as usual, aren't I? So I've just primed, so I'm going to use a Perversion, lovely Perversion. Length of this mascara is just crazy. Like, really good. This is why I don't wear false eyelashes. That and because I don't like them, but I just never feel like I need to use them. Why has the light gone down in this room? Lashes on and done. So let's do foundation. So I'm going to use Urban Decay All Nighter because we are kind of doing an Urban Decay special, that word. I have the shade 0.5. If you want me to do a more in-depth review of this, and I know it's not the newest product on the market, then I shall. All you have to do is ask, and I'm going to take that much. I'm sorry, it's on top of the Metalhead shadow. Don't worry, it won't turn my face green. So all I'm going to put on my cheek. Stipple brush, second tool. So I'm going to work quite quickly with this because I do find that this dries in quite easily and sets quite easily. So in one tiny blob like that, look how much coverage I'm getting to one half of my face. This is why I only needed one bit. It's covering in the scab even more. Coming into my smile line. Got it slightly on my lips. I don't like putting it on my lips. And coming down my chin. I'm not going to touch it around my eyes too much. In one half. I'm just going to add to my forehead as well. So just one half of my forehead. Just so you can see the coverage that you get with this. And why you don't need to use crap loads of it. That's one half of my face in two tiny blobs. And look how much I still have left. All I do now is try and not get that blinking strand of hair in my face. Take a bigger, fluffier brush and just smooth it into my skin. Let's do the other side of my face. So I tend to put the most onto my cheek because obviously this is going to disperse a lot more of my face. I also don't even need to put it on my chin, and then I'm going to use the upper there. So 2 blobs. That's all I'm using, and I've still actually got some left. I'm going to stipple it in. I like to stipple because I feel like my skin is taking it in more rather than if I just brush it on and it sits on the top of my skin. That's just my preference. You can apply it however you want, really. Foundation on. And I don't need any more than that. I am very, very, very happy with that coverage. So let's finish off the eyes. So I'm finally going to flick my liner out. So who wants to go kind of crazy? So I wasn't sure whether I was going to do red then green under each, but I think I'm just going to keep it to like. So let's go back to the magical metal palette. I'm going to start with red because I just feel like it. Kind of crazy, I know, but it's fun. And onto Metalhead Green. I'm going to use a little bit of ground right there, and I'm just going to line right under my lower lashes. I'm kind of just like going bigger and bigger and more at the minute. I don't know why, I'm just in the mood to. So So I'm actually going to use Glam Rock. Glam Rock is the most awesome silver ever. Like, it's such an amazing silver. So I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to look how bright that is. It's insanely cool.
Crazy, crazy brightness.
Very happy with my eyes right now. Right, let's finish the face. So Harley Quinn, as a character, will not wear too much blush. I'm going to add a light shading. I'm going to use my Tarte blush palette, and I'm going to use the fairest shade in this, which is Genuine, which is this one right here. And I'm also going to be quite dispersive with the colour. Of course, because I know now, what I mean when I say that is I'm going to use a big fluffy brush, and I'm going to be quite free with the shading. I don't want to be too concentrated as a blush. I just kind of want to give a rosy glow. So I'm going to use Becca's highlighter, Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Opal. Still thought this was going to be more of a white, but it is a gold. New Spectrum brush number 2, the highlighter brush, and I do want to get quite a distinct highlight on here today. I am feeling like highlight for whatever reason. Ah, there we are. I'm just feeling like I need glow and glimmer because it's Christmas and I just want to be crazy right now. I feel like I'm getting way too into the character of Harley Quinn right now. Lips. Let's finish with wonderful lips. I'm going to use Urban Decay's Bad Blood, which is a matte. This is the older formation that they used to design in. They now design completely differently, like Heat. But I don't fancy... Oh, actually, would you like me to use Heat? Oh, look. We should use Heat because it's glittery. Heat is from the Naked Heat collection. It is one of my favourite lipsticks ever. So I'm feeling pretty dang crazy right now. This was Christmas with Urban Decay, Harley Quinn style. I am actually really happy with how this has come out. This is definitely how I imagined it in my head, which is kind of crazy. This is one of the first times this has ever happened. Glam Rock in the corner is just so shimmery. It's ridiculous. Have a lovely Christmas day, you guys. Maybe you're watching this after Christmas thinking, what the hell is she doing? I'm just having some fun and entertaining the masses. I hope everyone enjoyed this. Try not to drink too much. Eat loads because it's Christmas and 'tis the season. I love turkey, so I'm going to go down and enjoy my turkey. Thank you everyone for being here and watching me on Christmas Day if you are. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, I'd love to have you join, but you don't have to. There's no stress. If not, like or dislike. Please don't dislike. That's very mean. Or comment on something you'd like me to do in the future. I'll see everyone again. Does anyone want to do like a New Year edition with heavy metals as well? Because I'll totally do that. Like, if anyone wants me to, let me know. Bye, everyone. Happy Christmas, seriously.